Hey, how you doing? This is Tommy here from Trading with Harmony. So this week then guys, we'll be analysing the markets this week coming, which will be from May the 10th to May the 14th, and going through all of the actual last week's trades that was predicted as well. Thanks. Okay then, so last week then we finished down here at this big engulfing candle, and what I was talking about then is more than like this is only going to be a nice pullback before we're going to see the actual bulls coming back in play, which it did. So let's go into the actual 4 hours. So last week then we finished here at this point, and what I was talking about then was that if we get price to come down into this structural area down here, that was okay, that we're going looking for a better risk reward. So it did come down into this area before we see price continue up and just about hit our actually TP, being the actual 1.2176. There's only a few pips away from it, even though we had the non-farm payroll and it was negative to the US. We were so close to our TP, and it's been like that for the last few weeks, because nearly last week it was a bit closer, and then this week we're so close. But anyway, so this week coming we should definitely hit our actually TP. So what I'm looking at then will be a actual bit of a retracement before we come up and hit our TP, and then continue on to hit our new TP level, being the second TP, which will be the 1.2240 in the euro dollar. So the actual pound dollar then, we can see here then actually the bulls are in play, but it's really at a actual significant support and resistance line here. We can see here, this is where it's at, like it's really struggling trying to get through this. But we are so close to the break of this actually, and once we break this then it'll be off to the races again. So we can see here then it's actually price is just actually really struggling trying to get through this area. But we are definitely, it's been this week then, Friday been finishing with a bullish engulfing candle. So this week coming then, I'm definitely thinking that we should be getting up to here. Last week then we finished down here at this point, and what I was talking about then, we were talking about this was the structural area down here at this level, that we're saying once this price holds within this region, we're still looking for price to head up north. So it pretty much did from the opening of this week. Then we've seen that actually price has been storming up, and then we came into a consolidation area here, which we can see it's been, this is a really consolidated area here before it broke that eventually, and then it's continued up north. So now we're up it again at like a double tops kind of effect here. So again this week coming, then we're looking at then will be probably more likely a pullback before we're going to see the actual hitting our TP level, being the actual 1.4085 pound dollar. Okay then, so the dollar yen then, so we got a actual, with the actual non-farm payroll, we got a actual negative to the actual dollar. So it drove this actually market down here. So the yen had overpowered the actual dollar, being weak dollar. So again, actually it's actually looks like it quite possibly has a just 3 points here of a actual channel starting to form here. So in this case then, what we're looking at then is for price then to continue down to our next part of the actual channel. So this is what I have in mind, plus the fact actually is that actually is a head and shoulders, not a typical head and shoulders, but if you were to look at it from this point here, what we would have is like a head and shoulders kind of pattern, like so as well, forming. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. So we have a lot of strength in this field, and looks like price is going to continue down south, right? So okay, so let's go into the 4 hour. So last week then we finished here at this point here, and we were looking for price then to continue up to our TP level, but then actually this week then it just shot up a bit of the way, and it's been stagnating before we got the actual non-farm payroll, and then it just stormed down to our actually structural area being here. So at this case I'm looking at then is for price to continue down south. So for this week coming then, what I'm looking at then is quite possibly get a pullback and then to come down and hit our actually TP level, being the actual 108.05 in the dollar yen. Okay then, so the dollar Canadian then is going down south and has been for the last good while actually. So in it specifically when it has actually broken our actually support line here, or weekly support line here, which was actually 2 weeks ago, and it's been going down ever since. So let's go into the actual 4 hours. Okay, so last week then we finished here at this point, and what I was talking about then, for the better risk reward, if we can get price to pull back a bit into our structural area, once it holds at that area, we were looking for price to continue down south to hit our TP. So if you're on that, guys, well done. So it hit our TP being the actual 1.2160. So then for this week coming then, what I'm looking for then for a better risk reward, if we can get price to pull back a bit before continue down south to hit our new TP level, being the actual 1.2000 in the dollar Canadian. Okay, so the euro yen then, so overall in the daily candles we can see the actual the bulls are in motion here, right? So then this week then actually we got a nice kind of pullback before it came back up, and we kind of got like a double tops here. Okay, so let's go into the actual 4 hours. So last week then we finished down here at this point, and what I was talking about then for the better risk reward, but we did get early in the week, we got an attempt to come up, we got a double tops, and then we got like a triple tops, right? So in the 4 hour candle, but then middle of the week then we got a actual pullback, and once we hold in this structural area, I'm still looking for price to continue up north. So it came down close to it, and then we got like a triple top here. Okay, so again this week then, I'll say early in the week we're looking for a pullback before it eventually will break that, and then actually I'm looking for price to continue up north to hit our TP, being the actual 132.88 in the euro yen. Okay guys, so the actual pound Aussie then, so this is the last week. I was saying this was going to be the last week for giving predictions on this actual market, but anyway guys, it's great news. We hit our target eventually, right? So we finished here last week and came up and it hit the target on the nose. So happy days. 1.8044. So if you're on that, guys, then well done. So great news guys, we're moving from this to the actual crypto Ethereum. So let's get stuck into this, guys. Okay, so this is the actual crypto market that I'm going to be moving forward with, and there's a lot of excitement, a lot of great stuff happening with the cryptocurrency, guys, as you well know. And this is the actual, it's not the Bitcoin, but it's a later stage one, but there's a lot of potential in this actually market, this crypto to move north. and we really are at the early stages of this one. This is why I picked this one, and we're going to have a lot of excitement and a lot of actually great earning pips on this one. So okay, so we can still see here, let's go into the actual 5 minute. So we can see like this guys is still live, yeah. So this is like 24/7. This one never stops, right? Not like the typical currencies, like you know, it's the 5-day-a-week thing. So we can still see prices moving up here, right? Okay, so let's go back into the daily. So what I'm looking at then, obviously then, is for price to continue up north. So let's go into the 4-hour and have a look at the actual targets and structural areas. What I'm looking at. Okay, so we're in a actual very severe kind of channel. So it has actually come up here, and now I'm looking for the next move up to this point here, right? So so this is it then. I'm looking for price to continue up and hit our TP, being the actual 3700 for the crypto Ethereum. Okay, so in gold then actually was a really nice actually bullish week this week again. So like I was talking about, we were looking for a price to continue up north. So we can see here then actually that price had finished down here at this candle here, and then it just stormed up then for the week. So that's happy days, right? So let's go into the actual 4 hours. So last week then we finished here at this point, and what I was talking about then was that we were looking for price to continue up north. So it did, it continued up north and hit our actual TP, really nice, and with a nice actually engulfing candle. So for this week coming then, what we're looking at then is for price then to actually hold at this actually structural area here, being the actual 1797 area. So this week then I'm still looking for a price to come back for a better risk reward before continuing up to hit our new TP level, being the actual 1865 in gold. Okay, so the US 30, the Dow Jones, and this market is just still storming up. What a monster this market is. But so what we're looking at then is for price just to keep going north, guys. Okay, so last week then we finished here at this point, and we were looking for price to continue up north, and I was saying this is our structural area here, being the 33,500, and so once it holds at this area, so it did come down, it went up, it attempted to go up a bit, and then it came back down into this area before we finally got a actual hitting our TP this week, being the actually 34,550 in the US 30, the Dow Jones, right? So happy days. So that again, this market is just still storming up, like it's amazing, this market. But okay, so again, there's a lot of momentum behind it here, so I'm still looking for price then quite possibly to come back like so this week before coming up and hitting our actually new TP area, being the actual 35,250 in the Dow. Alright then guys, so that's it then. Another great week we're all after having here, so magic happy days. So then guys, if this is your first time on the channel, then very big welcome, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give the thumbs up and share this would be much appreciated. So have a great week coming, see you next week guys, take care, God bless, bye bye, thank you.